Right, those of you that, let's share some international news whilst some questions. So Brunei is saying, right, for all, for the LGBTQI community out there, this, this little announcement that Brunei has said that if they catch you, you're gonna get stoned. But the worst part of it, it's not the kind of stone that you're probably thinking. Like, they're not gonna buzz you out. Like, alright, I'm gay and I'm buzzing. No, my friend. This one carry rock and he push rock. Okay. What on earth is Brunei on about, for God's sake? They want to stone people. They want to stone, like, throw stones at people. These guys, are they, oh my God. I mean, do they live in 2019? Is this, like, does Brunei even count? Is Brunei even, nobody, you know, Brunei is trying to, like, you know what it is? It's like, you know, you've got this kid in the corner going, hey, me. It's like the Muslim world has this whole thing, there's always this kind of ego challenge going on. Who really represents Muslims? You'll get some part, Saudi will always be like, it is, yeah, and there'll be the Gulf states, then there'll be the Middle East, then there'll be like Egypt with its kind of Cairo and Al-Azhar kind of, we represent. And then you'll get, I suppose, you've got Morocco with its kind of traditional, we represent traditional Sufism. Then you'll have like Pakistan saying, you know, the Chaudhries, we traditional Pakistan, you know, Pakistan ka matlab kya? La ilaha illallah. So you'll have like Pakistan, then you'll have Afghanistan saying, we are the Taliban, the land, everybody. Nobody even know. Brunei isn't even, it isn't even invited to that mess of a meeting. Nobody even knows where Brunei is on a map. It's like, Brunei, what the hell is that? And from all of these countries, Brunei gets up and says, okay, we'll stone gay people to death. It's like, what? Everybody's like, what? And they're like, yeah, we'll just stone them all to death. God, I think the Sultan of Brunei must have been buzzing. He must have been thinking, oh, like, stone them, like, we'll just drug them out. Because, for God's sake, will somebody wake him up, like, oh, just swing him around. For God's sake, this is 2019. You're not in 1352. Stoning people to death, making a mockery out of Islam, and then you'll just disappear because when you think of Islam, nobody thinks of Brunei. Nobody thinks of Brunei anyway. Nobody's heard of Brunei. It's like, so the rest of the Muslim countries just have to take the heat. Oh, I realised the comments had slightly frozen. There they are, they're back. Let's stone people. What a stupid kind of joke. I mean, if it was a joke, it'd just be like a dumb joke. It'd be one of those jokes that everybody just like. But the worst part is this guy's for real. It's like, me, I stoned them. It's like, and they turn up with pebbles. They're like, they all camp as well, and they're throwing at the gay guys, and the gay guys are like, ooh, ooh, ow. Oh God. No, on a serious note though, this is embarrassing. This is really embarrassing. I mean, come on people, even in the past, look at the Maliki great ulama of the past. 600 years ago, they were speaking, saying, Abul Qasim al-Burzuli, people whose name sounds like as though he's from Brazil, but he's not. Al-Burzuli and his fatwa are over there. You can't actually see them, but there's a volume of the whole set of them in about 7 volumes. He was the Shaykh al-Islam of his day and age, a legend of a scholar. In his day and age, he had taught how stoning was abrogated through trajectory hermeneutics, people. That the day and age had changed, and therefore the hudud had changed. And that is the school of Medina, that is Maliki fiqh. He issued that ruling, he taught it, his students after him, the generations after him, and this was argued for. So my point is, and then you had in the east, he was in northwest Africa, modern day Morocco, around that region, and he traveled a bit through northwest Africa as well. So, and then you had in the east, you had people like Suleiman al-Qanuni, the Ottoman Caliph, and the Sultan, not the Sultan of Brunei, but that Sultan, and he back then had changed the legislation of things like this. So Muslims back then were ahead of the game. This is before colonial kind of influences and things like this. And today they're just going backwards in full throttle, full speed. They're going in reverse. Anyway, so somebody said my dad's name is Sultan. Geo. Right, so my point is that, look, these things, it's silly having these kind of rulings. And you have to remember that the stoning thing is not in the Quran. It was abrogated, but the point is that it was part of the Jewish Bible that the Prophet condoned for them and allowed until the verses in the Quran came at the time saying what to do with people who'd committed adultery. And then with time, these things are hinged on the kind of collective ethics of the age. As they change, the rulings change. So that's why Abul Qasim al-Burzuli in his time said they changed. Now, even in the Prophet's time, you can see hints of that. So it's hinting. So you have a case where a person comes to the Prophet, and in fact the hadith is in Bukhari, but it's an abridged version, and there's Ibn Hajar in Fathul Bari brings the slightly lengthier version, where the person comes to the Prophet and he says that I've committed, I've had sex with some woman and so on, and he mentions that, and Ibn Hajar brings the riwayah, and the Prophet just says to him that, look, have you prayed salah? And then that is a forgiveness for it. Now my point is that these riwayat are already there, and hence the mas'ala that halit tawbah tusqitul hudud amla is a fiqhi debate. So does tawbah, just mujarradu tawbah, yusqitul hudud amla, is a classical debate that does tawbah, just simple tawbah, drop all hudud. And there's part of the Hanbali madhab held that view. It upheld that was valid, and hence Imam Ahmad brings in his Musnad the hadith when they tried to in that day punish this person who'd committed adultery, and he tried to run away, and the Prophet condemned them later on in saying that, why did you carry through with this? So the Prophet said, Halla taraktumuhu, if only that you'd left him alone. Fayatubu Allahu alayhi, that if only you'd left him, then he would have repented and Allah would have turned back to him. Now that is a hadith in the Musnad of Ahmad, and it is that is one of the opinions upheld within the Hanbali madhab, and I believe it's also the Qawl al-Qadim li-Shafi'i, but it's within the Hanbali madhab that that tawbah, mujarradu tawbah, just tawbah on its own, drops all hudud. Okay, so if that be the case with just tawbah, of course that the maqasid of the Sharia would dictate that the actual hudud would change with the day.